So good evening, everybody. Today is August the 6th, 2020. And our topic today, and also for the whole month of August, the theme would be around simple habits to grow your consciousness. So welcome to a new human experience podcast. So why do you all tune into this podcast? And when I was trying to come up with a topic or a theme for August, I was really thinking. So why are you all tuning into this podcast? Because I really want to talk about something that is of interest to all of you. And I was, just, joking a bit to say, well, they definitely did not tune in because I'm the prettiest person on the internet, nor am I the most eloquent speaker, because there are a lot of those out there. However, I'm just guessing or I'm hoping anyways that that all of you who are here listening to this is because you want to grow your consciousness, because that's the reason why I started this particular podcast, and that's why it's called A New Human Experience, because it's really time for us to take our human consciousness to the next level. The whole planet and a lot of preparation has been to shift the human collective to higher and higher consciousness. So, and that really resonate with me. And so I want to share my own journey, my thoughts, what I discovered along the way in this podcast. And so, so I thought, well, why don't I just kind of get back to basic and talk about simple habits to grow our consciousness, our own consciousness. I want to kind of narrow it down to this in August, because growing our consciousness, like the whole podcast itself, like since I've ever been doing this podcast, that's really the underlying theme is to grow consciousness, exploring different ways, talking about money, relationship, talking about health. All of those are really pieces to the puzzle of growing our consciousness. But I want to narrow August, something that I can kind of more or less handle in during August, the full podcast that will be presented in August is to talk about simple habits, something that we can do each day. It's not like a big finale, not a big retreat, nothing like that, but something very simple that we can choose to adopt, some habits that we can choose to adopt, so that day in, day out, if we keep to those simple habits, that in itself is going to grow our consciousness. Just like health is not about doing a big detox, it's actually about the simple habits of sleeping at a reasonable time each day, of following, doing simple exercises, eating the supportive food day in and day out. Is really those simple habits that is going to impact your health most, not so much the occasional intervention that you do by doing a detox or going to the doctors and getting tests and all those things. It's the little habits. So that's what I want to talk about in August, is simple habits that if it resonates with you, is to start adopting those simple habits. And if you do those simple things day in, day out, then you would start to feel the shift in your consciousness. Our consciousness is where it is right now, not because of um, the big aha moments, the big changes, but it's actually, it started a lot earlier than we are aware of. It started when we first was born, just little things, subtle things that we picked up from our parents, we picked up from the people around us, from our environment. It's still those little things that we don't even realize it now that we've been in this consciousness for so long, in our own consciousness for so long, we don't even remember them anymore. Most of the time, they have become so unconscious. So now let's do something specifically and consciously choose some very simple habits to start to shape your consciousness in the direction of growth rather than on trying to limit yourself. So the first simple habit that I really want to bring out, which is I'm just going to sum it up with the theme is that be true to yourself. So that really is the simple habit. Be true to yourself. And I'll expand on what do I mean by that. But first, I just want to explain that for me, it's a simple habit. However, for me, it is not an easy one. It's a simple one, but it is not an easy one for me. Perhaps I'm the only one that think that this is not easy. It's because I'm kind of in the I remember growing up to that there are lots of occasion where I noticed that whatever it is that my parents are doing or saying to me does not add up. It's not, what they say does not match up with what they do. So there's a mismatch. So there's this sense of not truth, is this of being untrue that has been floating around in my environment. And also, if you think of the term of white lies, if you understand what that means, is that there are some lies or some untruth that is okay to say to other people so that you don't hurt their feelings. And there is this this idea that it's a bad thing to hurt other people's feelings. So all this movement about being politically correct, all of that is versions of this white lies. It's okay to not own your truth. It's okay to not speak your truth. It's okay to not hold yourself to that standard of being in your own truth. And for me, this is the one simple habit that I adopted, and it actually changes a lot about. And I'm still I'm not saying that I'm 100% there. However, I'm getting more and more comfortable with being in my own truth. And with that, I'm also getting more and more comfortable to be uncomfortable. There are times when I know within that I cannot say the thing that other people wanted to hear from me, that I have to, at the very least, even if I don't say everything that's on my mind that I think is true for me, at the very least, I am very aware that I don't want to lie, even though it may be a white lie, but I don't want to say anything that is not true. So if I think that what I'm going to say is going to sound like I'm rude or sound like I am disagreeing with someone or sound like I'm being critical, I would do my best to walk that fine line of speaking my truth with with compassion and in such a way that I don't um, that I don't try to lie, try to put in some, say the things that other people are expecting me to say, so that it's going to be okay between us. So so this is really what this is about. To be true to yourself is to, even if you don't say everything is on your mind, however, the first step is don't suppress yourself. If you don't like something, don't try to rationalize to yourself and convince yourself that, oh, it's really the best that I can afford right now, or it's the best under the worst situation. It's no, don't say that to yourself. Admit to yourself that it's bad. If you really don't like it, if that really is how you feel, to allow yourself that freedom to really own that truth. You don't you don't necessarily have to argue with someone else, or make sure that other people hear you and agree with you. However, you have to take that first step, is to, you allow yourself to own the truth that it is bad. Yeah, it is pretty bad. So it's really the first thing is, don't sugarcoat things. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. if you if something really does not resonate with you, then own that truth. Be true to yourself. You may not have to blurt it out and smear it over the sky for everyone else to see, but at least you know where you stand. And there is the difficulty is that we try to not feel things because it's not right. I remember for the longest time, I really don't resonate with my mom. However, there's this, I think the traditionally is about honoring your parents. This is so big. This is so big, the that. However, I really I don't honor whatever it is that she's saying. I cannot agree with her. And it's, so I have to own that. And when I can actually own that, then the other things can come on board as well. When I truly allow myself to own that, okay, some of the things that my mom believed, it really is totally crazy. It's upside down. And I cannot agree with her on those points. However, when I allow myself to have this opinion, I also make it possible for me to understand where she came from, is why she think the way she think, um, why she does what she does. So knowing your own truth is also about not just knowing that, oh, okay, this, I don't agree with this, and then just put a stick in the ground and don't budge. It's not about that as well. Is allow yourself to really know that, okay, something does not resonate, and I don't agree with what is being said. But that doesn't mean that the other person's point of view has no validity at all. It's also about giving yourself the flexibility to let go of your own viewpoint for the moment and fully explore the other person's point of view and try to see it from their point of view, and then and not stop at that point, and also see it from a third point of view, and then a fourth point of view, and then a fifth and a sixth, as to really explore a subject. If that subject means something to you, if it's relevant, if it's meaningful to you, is to allow yourself the flexibility of belief, of that confidence in yourself, to allow yourself to shift and look at the same things from totally different point of view, and also be able to be impartial when you're looking at it, and really see the different points of view and why a person can hold this different point of view. See it from their point of view. And then after you have really explored all angles, then you can come to some sort of an agreement with yourself and feel which one it is. Where is it that would really resonate with you, and not just to say, I don't agree with that, so that means I have to take the opposite point of view. It's not a black or white decision. It's really about feeling and noticing that incongruence when someone says something to you. If you notice that there is an incongruence, because truth has a vibration, has a certain vibration, and also that truth, there are layers to truth. There is never just one point of truth. Truth is also, there is a truth. There are facts. However, truth also depends on which level of consciousness you're at. At one on one level of consciousness, something may be true, absolutely true. But if you expand your consciousness to a next level and you look back down, then you notice that, oh, okay, yes, at that consciousness, that is true, but at a higher consciousness, that is no longer true as well. And that is really how truth is being structured. And the best analogy I can say to you, or that I can come up with at the moment, is really about video game. So let's say in a video game, let's say if you are if you're playing a video game of war games, so killing someone is a bad thing. It's a bad thing. Let's say killing someone is a bad thing. And if you kill, let's say, the good people, it's a bad thing. If you kill the bad people, it's not such a bad thing. So that is on the a game level, that is the truth. And so at that level, like, those are kind of rules of this game. But when you're in real life, is killing someone a bad thing or not? It really depends on what your culture is, what you believe. In some culture, killing some people, there are certain there are certain circumstances where killing is not a bad thing. It's actually heroic. Soldiers who killed their enemies in the battle, you are being considered a hero. You actually get decorated if you're really efficient and good at doing that. However, when you're doing that in civilian life, killing someone, that is not a good thing. Even if that person threatens your life, even if that person acted like an enemy towards you, killing them is still not, it's still at the very least frowned upon. So the truth is, you kill someone, but that's just the facts. how you feel about those facts, really how you evaluate what's the story around it, that is also part of the truth. And that is depends on which level you're operating at. So truth, there are many layers of truth. So when I say that is to honor your own, the truth within, really be true to yourself, is that when you're growing your consciousness, you need to, or I suggest that you develop what truth means to you, what truth feels like to you. And when you pay attention to what truth feels like, something that is true, that you wholeheartedly embrace, that truth will have a certain resonance in your body. And when someone else says something to you that does not resonate at that vibration, on some level, you know, your body will know. You may not consciously know, but you would know. That's why sometimes you hear someone say certain things and you don't quite know it, but something just does not feel right, even though you have there's no clue as to whether that person is telling the truth or not, because you're not familiar with that person. But your body still has a reaction to something that does not sound true to you. There is a vibration that somehow your body knows it. And a lot of the times when we are growing up, at least in my case, is there are things that other people say to me, and the way they act is, I know that there's something wrong with what they say. However, I, for whatever reason, overruled myself. I don't acknowledge what I feel inside. Rather, I look at, oh, okay, I look at what is the, I would say, polite way to respond to something like that. Trying to be politically correct all the time and people pleasing all the time. So those are really habits that start to condition yourself to disown the truth within. So when I say this habit of starting to be true to yourself, it's also to pay attention to how your body reacts to different situation, to person, to things that they say, and really notice what's your body's reaction to it, rather than trying to be politically correct or be nice, is to follow your own truth and really own that truth. If you feel something does not resonate, then take note of that. That is information that your body is telling you. You may not know what to do with that information in that moment. However, don't stuff it down. Don't try to disown it. Is to notice what you notice. Notice that there is a disconnect. There is a dissonance in your body. And the more you really stand on that truth and trust yourself and start to notice those things and start to honor the truth that you feel within, regardless of what is being expected of you, regardless of whether it's what the situation is, the more you stand on and really respect your own truth, the more you start to grow that your consciousness will know that you have that you're ready for the next level. And then your consciousness will start to, how should I say it, is to start to bring to you other events that will give you even more information. And then you may not know what the truth is at first. At first, what you only know is you notice a dissonance. But the more you allow for that dissonance to exist without trying to smooth it over, without trying to be politically correct and all of that, the more you will start to attract for the next level of truth to be revealed to you. So you may all of a sudden be able to hear some extra information from other people. Let's say if you met somebody and that person tell you that, oh, I'm an honest person, and so do business with me, blah, 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 all that. For example, let's say if you're trying to, look into whether a business is good, or even a course, if you want to take a course, and of course, every description about the course, they're going to tell you that it's good. But then if you notice what your body is telling you when you read the description or when you see the video and feel the information, and then if you notice anything that is dissonant and you don't try to override yourself, then you'll find that you may hear someone else tells you, oh, I took that course, it's horrible, don't waste your money. Or you may hear information like, I took that course, it really helped me. And even though so you may hear more and more information about that. So when you are open to look at things from different angles, and also open to owning your own truth, then the truth will come to you. The truth of things will start to come to you. You may not need to be, intuitive, super intuitive, to really see through the stories. However, just by being open to the truth, you will start to attract more of the truth to come to you. And that is really that's really the vibration of truth. The more you stand in and support truth and only allow yourself to be in truth and really do your best to own the truth, because in life, especially where we are at now in the world, sometimes speaking your truth may be dangerous at times. However, you may not be ready to speak your truth and nothing but your truth all the time with everyone 24/7. However, at the very least, know your truth. Even if you're not at this moment are ready to stand up and really put a stake in the ground about what you know is truth, is to allow yourself to own the truth within. Just know that within there is truth. And if something does not feel like it's resonate with you, just do your best to not engage with it. Sometimes it may not be possible. For example, if you don't want to wear a mask, then there are times when you just have to wear a mask. There may be times like that. So if you come across times like that, then for your own safety, sure, wear a mask just because it's for your own safety. But also know that where you really stand about mask, and avoid situations where you need to compromise your own truth as much as possible. It does not mean you can do it 100% of the time, but as much as possible is to honor the truth within. And even if you have to engage in something that may compromise your truth, know where you are in terms of the truth, where you stand in terms of the truth. And just this one simple habit, not necessarily easy habit, but simple habit, is to own your own truth and start to look for it. Don't just gloss over things. There are things that really matter to you. If something really matters to you, then take the time to explore and really research all angles of that issue, and then come to the truth that resonate with you. However, there are some things that it's you may not have the time, because you only have 24 hours. You may not have time to really research every aspect of your life. But for the aspects of your life that's important to you, that is valuable, high in value for yourself, then take the time to do the research and come up with with a point of view that resonate with you, and really go with that and stick with that until you come across information that may kind of let you know that perhaps you need to review your point of view and start to incorporate another level of truth, and then come up with a different point of view. Is to also be flexible as well. And so that's what I have to say for this week. And just to recap, is the first simple habit to grow your consciousness is to be true to yourself. And when you are true to yourself, truth itself is a vibration. And in the end, your truth is kind of like a breadcrumb that is going to lead you back into higher consciousness, the highest vibration of consciousness. Because truth, it's like an onion. It's seldom just one dimension, and there are many dimensions of truth. And so the more you follow truth, follow what is true for you, then the more you will start to grow your own consciousness, and more of the truth will be revealed to you. And so just this one simple habit of honoring your own truth, be true to yourself, is one of the best way to grow your own consciousness.